they will have more specialized beaks. Okay, maybe A had beaks which can only eat soft fruits, but B will have beaks which will enable B to have like soft food and hard nut seed. Okay, so the beaks will be much more better. Theories given by ancient philosophers like Aristotle, like Priestley, what they said, theory of spontaneous formation. Chemical evolution is nothing but the creation of biomolecules of organic matter, okay, like ammonia, like methane, and other things, other aromatic compounds, other aliphatic compounds containing hydrocarbons and other things. Okay. Hello students, welcome back to B2S Academy. Today we will discuss about another important chapter for your Neet exams, evolution. Evolution. Now what is evolution? Evolution is the derivation of a new species from a previously existent species which are closely related to one another, obviously, because if something is derived from another thing, they must be closely related to each other over a period of geological time scales and with the features already present in the organism. That is, if suppose there was an organism called A. Okay, now A has, let's say, wings, beaks, and is oviparous. Let's say, now in about, say, after 1 million years, A has evolved into B. B will have wings, will have beaks, will be oviparous. Okay. But all the features will be same if the conditions in which organism A survived are the same as the conditions in which organism B will have to survive. If A survived in a certain environmental conditions in which having wings, beaks and being oviparous was beneficial, the wings will be way more muscular, more strong, more tenacious, can sustain longer flights, faster flights. They will have more specialized beaks. Okay. Maybe A had beaks which can only eat soft fruits, but B will have beaks which will enable B to have like soft food and hard nut seed. Okay, so the beaks will be much more better. If conditions are same, both will be oviparous. Both will be oviparous. However, maybe A had soft shelled eggs while B will have hard shelled eggs. Okay, but if conditions change, what if A lived in a certain environmental conditions which has drastically changed in the period of 1 million years and then B evolved? What will happen? Maybe they will lose wings. Maybe they will lose beaks and have jaws with teeth. Maybe they will not be oviparous but viviparous. maybe they will have some extra features that were not present in A. So this is evolution in a nutshell. So to further understand how evolution works, how evolution occurs, we need to look into the evolutionary time scale. Now, let's look at some numbers. 20 billion years. Big Bang occurred. The source of the universe. Big Bang. Okay. Then let's come down to 4.5 billion years. Earth formed along with the rest of the solar system. Earth formed. Again, 1.5 billion years ago, that is 3 billion years, the first acellular life forms originated. Okay, so first acellular life forms originated, and then 1.5 billion years ago, eukaryotes originated. Right, eukaryotes originated. So this is the evolutionary time scale. Now there are various theories regarding how life came on earth. First theories given by ancient philosophers like Aristotle, like Priestley, what they said, theory of spontaneous formation, theory of spontaneous creation. Spontaneous creation means like all living things are created by the magical powers of God from inanimate objects like mud, sand, water, etc. Let me tell you a very funny story. Ancient Egyptians believed that frogs, snakes, and crocodiles were formed when the mud of the Nile reacted with the sunlight. They thought like this: frogs, snakes, and crocodiles were created by God by mixing Nile, Nile river's mud and the sunlight, and like some weird black magic, we get all these animals. Okay, so they had such funny notions, but they actually tried. We should appreciate that they tried to think about or to explain how life actually came on Earth. So we should appreciate that. Another theory which is very popular among astrophysicists and xenobiologists. Now, who are xenobiologists? Xenobiologists are people who look for signs of life in other planets. Okay, uh, not hunting aliens as we look in the movies, not like that. What xenobiologists do, they actually look for life forms such as bacteria, such as semi-life forms like viruses or protozoans, okay, microscopic life or signature of microscopic life, or some biomolecules which are produced as a result of respiration or metabolism or photosynthesis. They look for traces of such chemicals also, which indicate that some form of life may be present in that planet. These are the role of xenobiologists. Also, when some asteroid crashes onto Earth, okay, they collect those rock samples and see whether they have some bacteria or microbes which are not found on Earth, okay. None of the projects have been fruitful as of yet, but hopefully one day we might find an alien strain of bacteria. Who knows? So these scientists, this group of people say life originated from extraterrestrial sources, meaning there was a planet having life, diverse life, microscopic, macroscopic, from bacteria to big, from not bacteria, bacteria-like organisms to big organisms. Now that planet got destroyed. Okay, and debris of that planet as asteroids are crashing down on Earth, and it crashed down on Earth like around 3 billion years ago, and from those debris the seeds of life or the precursor of all living organisms present on Earth were scattered throughout the planet, where they found similar conditions to thrive, and they gradually evolved as the Earth also changed its topography, its geography, its geology. They also evolved keeping pace with the changes in the climate in Earth, okay, and they gave rise to all modern living organisms. This is known as the theory of panspermia. Theory of panspermia. However, the first modern approach towards understanding the origin of life was given by Louis Pasteur. In his theory of biogenesis. Okay, Louis Pasteur gave the theory of biogenesis. Now, what is biogenesis? Louis Pasteur did a famous experiment called the swan-necked vessel experiment. What he did? Louis Pasteur kept some fungus in two vessels. In one vessel, he sterilized the vessel and all the fungus were killed. And he sealed them off. He sealed that vessel. And in another vessel, he also sterilized the fungus. However, it was kept open in a moist area where there were fungus all around the vessel. Okay. After some time, when he checked both the vessels, the sealed vessel did not contain any fungus after sterilization, but the open vessel, which were kept in a region surrounded by fungus, had formed a fungal colony inside, which indicated that the fungus inside the vessel were, I should not say that they took birth from the other fungus, but I should say that the fungus inside the vessel arose from the fungus outside. So, only a living being can give rise to another living being. So, from this experiment, Louis Pasteur concluded that all living organisms have originated from previously existing organisms. This is the theory of biogenesis. Okay. Now, as the time progressed, there were other theories, other concepts given by scientists having more modern approach. They termed the entire origin of life, the entire saga of the origin of life, as biopoiesis or creation of life. And the first attempt made to understand the creation of life was by the Russian scientist Oparin and the English scientist Haldane. Okay. In their book, The Origin of Life, they stated that chemical evolution preceded the origin of life. Now, what is chemical evolution? Chemical evolution is nothing but the creation of biomolecules of organic matter, okay, like ammonia, like methane, and other things, other aromatic compounds, other aliphatic compounds containing hydrocarbons and other things, okay, proteins, nucleic acids, all these evolved earlier prior to the evolution of organisms, and all these proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, ammonia, methane, etc., they all converge together to give rise to life. And from that living thing, that primitive life form, all other life form evolved. So, opening and holding, okay, what they said, chemical evolution preceded biogenesis and complex life forms arose from simpler life forms. These are the main points of the theory given by Operin and Haldane. There were two other scientists as well, Miller and Urey. Okay, Miller and Urey. Miller and Urey. They performed a famous experiment. What they did, in a flask, in a rounded flask, they filled the flask with steam or water vapor at 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, and that steam water contained various molecules of hydrogen, of methane, of ammonia, and electric current was passed through that water vapor, through that steam. And when that steam was condensed into water, it was found that amino acids have been formed in that water. So they understood that, okay, this is the root cause of origin of life. Okay, they said this was the root cause of origin of life. How life evolved according to Urey and Miller? They said that when Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago, it was a hot molten mass of lava, and it cooled down, forming a solid crust, and later, during the process of cooling off, clouds were formed, an atmosphere was created, and it rained incessantly for thousands and thousands of years, creating a huge ocean. Okay, forming a huge ocean. And since surface temperature of Earth was very high at that time, during rain, lightning discharge occurred, which causes assimilation of methane, ammonia, other nitrogenous compounds, hydrogen into amino acids, into lipids, into carbohydrates. Okay, and these lipids, carbohydrates, and everything else, they form a colloidal rock-like structure inside that ocean, which was the backbone of life. Okay, which was the backbone of life.